Welcome one and all to the third and final round for this Star Wars Destiny tournament on the 12th of April 2017. In the finals I will be piloting my Obi-Wan Kenobi Maz Kanata deck, and my opponent will be my friend Nikolai, who is playing Bala-Tik, Director Krennic, both at Elite. So Director Krennic is probably one of the most dangerous cards to come out of the Spirit of Rebellion set. He has so much damage potential that it is very difficult to deal with him even in the early game if he manages to get the battlefield. Nikolai is using the Separatist base battlefield, which says when you claim, your opponent is forced to deal a unblockable damage to one of his characters, and I'm using the Cargo Hold new one. So we're rolling out to see who goes first, and he gets to choose. He of course picks his own battlefield, the Separatist base, because that means that Krennic will roll out using 3 dice instead of 2. I decided to place both of my shields onto Maz Kanata. The game is set up and good to go, and we shake off. He pays 2 resources to put down a holdout blaster, getting an ambush turn as his first play. He follows up by activating Krennic, rolling 4 dice at the very first round of the game. As Krennic's effect is an after effect, he would normally have to roll the Death Trooper die after activating Krennic, but some people agree that you might just as well roll it in for the sake of saving time. Guardian effect of Obi-Wan Kenobi. As he activates, Obi-Wan takes 2 damage, removing the modified side of +2 from the Death Trooper die. Obi-Wan rolls, I get a blank at a melee. Bala-Tik activates, he gets a +2 ranged and a focus. I activate Trust Your Instincts, a new event from Spirit of Rebellion. It says but a blue character, reroll any of that character's die, and then draw a card. It's a very, very good card if you need both hand strength and the option to get new things out of your dice. Nikolai activates Bala-Tik's focus die and turn his Krennic to a 2 range damage. I activate Maz Kanata, and her effect says that when she is activated, has been activated, after she's activated, there's the word, you get to resolve 2 dice. So I focus and get the free melee. I choose to only resolve a single die. Nikolai claimed 2 resources. I play Destiny, a blue event from Spirit of Rebellion. Remove 1 of your blue dice or more to play a card from your hand with cost equal to those dice value or lower, meaning that I can now play Force Throw for free from my hand, as I removed a free melee. And Nikolai resolves damage. He goes 4 damage, 2 + 2 modified, onto Maz Kanata, dealing 2 damage to the shields that block that, but then 2 damage counters are placed on Maz. At this point in the game, Nikolai has the aggro advantage with both First Blood and the only weapon on the field to do some real damage, but Force Throw is a pretty potent upgrade to use. I throw down the Binds All Things for 1, so I can reduce the cost of my cards. Nikolai claims and Obi-Wan takes the damage. I exhaust the Binds All Things and remove Force Throws to put down 1 with the Force for a reduced cost. By the end of the first round, Nikolai has the clear advantage, as I have already 5 damage on my side of the board and he has none. However, 1 with the Force is a very powerful legendary upgrade from the Awakening sets, and it can potentially change the course of a battle on its own. Nikolai puts down a jetpack as the first opening move of round 2. He places it on Krennic. I pay 3 resources and exhausted Binds All Things to get my second one with the Force onto the battlefield. Director Krennic activates again, and as he claimed last round, he now controls the battlefield and as such gets the Death Trooper die. At this point we decide that he could just roll it in with the other dice to save time. He gets a 2-for-1 ranged and a +2 ranged. I activate the Guardian effect of Obi-Wan, removing that 2-for-1 range so that he cannot modify it to do 4 damage. Instead, Obi-Wan takes another 2, bringing him to 5 out of 11. Obi-Wan activates, and I roll out. I get 2 blanks and a total of 6 range damage. That could potentially even out the score, even though I didn't get any damage on his side of the board last round. Those 6 could potentially be what could pass the game in my favor. Nikolai plays He Doesn't Like You, removing his Death Trooper die, as well as one of my 1 with the Force dice. I activate Maz Kanata. The effect of Maz resolves 2 of my dice, granting me 1 resource and dealing 3 damage to BalaKrennic. The first damage is now placed on Nikolai's side of the board. He still has a focus and 2 disrupt as well as a +2 range, and as such he decides to roll out Bala-Tik to see if he can get that, and he does get that non-modified damage his side of the board, meaning that he now has 4 damage yet again to shoot after Maz. I discard to reroll. I get a 3 melee and a 1 melee. That is a lot of damage, but he could potentially do way more, as he also has the focus to turn Krennic to a 2 ranged, meaning that he has a potential of 6 damage his side of the board. Nikolai plays Electroshock, removing the 1 melee die my side of the board. 3 melee damage is dealt to Krennic. Nikolai resolves focus, turning that, as I stated before, into a 2 ranged, and he now has 6 damage his side of the board. I claim the battlefield, forcing the effect of Separatist Base to do 1 damage to Bala-Tik. Maz dies by 6 damage resolved against her, as she was already at 2 out of 8, that brings her to 8 out of 8. This is a very bad situation, as I have only done half of Krennic's health in damage, and my Obi-Wan only needs another 6 to die. Wow, I just realized there he forgot actually, to say that he would activate Bala-Tik's ability to ready him again after killing Maz. That could potentially be a game changer here. But that is what happens when you're in the thrill of battle. You really sometimes forget obvious effects that change the entire game. Krennic activates after I play down a Force Throw for 1 resource, as I have 2 It Binds All Things my side of the board. He activates Krennic, getting a 2 ranged, a 1 ranged, and a 2 discard. I Electroshock the 2 ranged away, and he takes 2 cards from my hand using the discard. At this point we've made 2 mistakes. He forgot his Bala-Tik effect last turn, and I forgot my Electroshock cannot be played unless I have Maz my side of the field. That's what happens, sadly, and since this isn't a tiered tournament, there's really nothing we can do about it at this point. But accepted. I activate Obi-Wan Kenobi, removing that 1 range die so that he can't modify it, and I score a lot of free focus there, a 3 melee, a 1 melee, 2 disrupt, and I believe the last side is a 2 focus. Yes, I do believe that is a 2 focus at the end of the table. Nikolai activates Battle Formation. It's a new event from Spirit of Rebellion. It's a 0 cost and it has Ambush Red Villain only. Reroll any number of die equal to the amount of red characters you control. He rerolls into a +3 range. That is exactly what he wanted at this point from his jetpack. Or the special, of course. The special could have removed my 3 melee damage at this point. Nikolai plays F11D rifle on Bala-Tik for 2 resources. Obi-Wan resolves focus, turning Force Throw to special, Obi-Wan to 3 melee, and 3 ranged on the 1 with the Force die. Nikolai activates Bala-Tik. He gets the +2, the 1 ranged, and the special. Force Throw special, removing the 1 damage die there and dealing 1 damage to Bala-Tik, so that he can't use his modified range damage to instantly kill off my Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point. Pressure is really rising in this final round. You can see how Nikolai is clearly pondering how to play his way out of this. He resolves special, and Obi-Wan takes another 2 damage, bringing him to, as far as I can count, 8 out of 11. Just 3 health left is not a very good situation. I resolve 3 melee damage against Director Krennic, defeating him. Holdout Blaster is redeployed to Bala-Tik. I must say at this point, if Nikolai had remembered his Bala-Tik, and if we had not forgotten about Electroshock requiring Mars to be face up on my side of the field, I believe Nikolai would be in the winning position at this point of the game. I resolve 3 rings damage against Bala-Tik. We shift the boards to better even out with the camera. Obi-Wan is now at 9 as Nikolai claims the battlefield. Just 2 health to go. This is an all-out lock roll. This is how this final is probably going to be decided by whether or not Nikolai decides to instantly activate Bala-Tik and roll damage. He has so much potential damage his side of the board, but a lot of it is modified, which means that he won't be able to use it unless he also get those very few non-modified sides that he does have available. And he rolls out. He gets the non-modified 1 and 2 blanks. In order to save Obi-Wan, I have to guard that 1 range damage with his Guardian effect to remove the modified threat. So I get a lot of focus, resources, and range 1 ranged on 4th row. Not at all the optimal situation here. Nikolai discards 1 card to reroll 2 dice. I decide to resolve 2 focus, turning let's see here. I go for a 4th row special. And 3 focus, which allows me to place the last 2 die as well on my board in any way I would like. That is actually a misplay on my part I could not do, because that Obi-Wan die was already at 1 focus, so I could have just shifted. Oh yeah, I actually got more damage out of that at one time. Nikolai now pondering his next move. He could claim the shield, but that would Bala-Tik is now at 5 out of 8, meaning that any of those 3 damage cannot be allowed to hit him. This is a pretty tense moment here. Nikolai is clearly thinking if he can do anything at all to turn the tide of this battle. He plays he doesn't like you to remove 2 dice, but that isn't enough. And Obi-Wan deals 3 melee damage, ending the game. What up guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to like, subscribe, and give any comments for further suggestions that you would like to see in my videos. If you liked what you saw here, then make sure you go to my sponsor Kelsol DK for any of your nerdy card gamey anime kind of needs. That is KEL0R.DK. They ship internationally to every country in the world, and if you enter the coupon code RXYouTube into the commentary field with your purchase, you will get a mystery gift discount for purchasing. Again, thank you so much for watching this. Go there, get your good stuff, and I will see you all next time.